Hello, everyone. Happy Monday
morning.
morning, and welcome to the Disney Morning Show. I am Kyle, the editorial director at laughingplace.com, and joining me again today is Tony Betty. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Let's say
How
some
are
other
you?
hellos before we jump into this special Monday, July 7th edition. Top of the
Well,
morning to
Fred says top
you.
of the morning to you. That episode came on the other day and I couldn't stop laughing. Geo says, wow, it really is a small world. Good morning. Genie Plus Plus says, hi, everyone. And Nikki B with the thumbs up, which I guess is hello.
Basically, I was going to
Okay.
make a reference. I don't want to give away anything in this day in Disney history.
Okay.
So we'll get there. But first, let's start the show off the way we always do, with a look at the Disney share price. So when we did this show on Friday, it was $123.88. Now it is $123.19, which I had to refer back 70 cents lower. So slumping just a tiny bit, but not too badly. Any thoughts?
It sounds like the water's going to start to run dry. So,
I'm
with the
so
river
ready
being drained and all.
The Stitch overload is coming too. Which we probably won't talk about it today. We'll get footage of it tomorrow. But anyway, now let's move on to the weather. Here's Rachel.
Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the LP Disney Weather Report. A scrub is a guy that think he's fly and is also known as a busta, always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke butt. So, no, I don't want your number. No, I don't want to give you mine. And no, I don't want to meet you nowhere. No, don't want none of your time. And no, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holla at me. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will break into the 80s today and will see plenty of sunshine. A triple-digit heat index will be in effect at Walt Disney World again today, with an on-paper high of 90. This afternoon will be overcast, and while rain can't be fully ruled out, it does seem unlikely. Castaway Cay will be 84 and sunny today, but fair warning, the rest of the week's forecast isn't looking so great. Meanwhile, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point will feel like 95 today with mostly cloudy skies. Disneyland Paris is seeing a few showers now, but will return to mostly sunny conditions soon, with temperatures in the mid-60s. Tokyo will feel like 103 tomorrow, and won't drip below a 3-digit heat index until dark. Shanghai is expecting showers for much of the day tomorrow, but that won't stop the 88-degree high from feeling like 100. Lastly, Hong Kong will see scattered thunderstorms on and off tomorrow, and while the high will be below 90, the real feel will reach 102. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Well, as Geo is referencing, we got some Small World news this morning. What's up, Tony?
I just want to point out that Nikki said, wow, I miss Ethan.
Wow.
I don't know. Ethan didn't have that sassy hand that went very well with the lyrics, but
yeah.
Go on.
So inside LP for a moment. A couple of weeks ago, we noticed that there was the pre-order for the 7-inch vinyl celebrating the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, and it's going to be Small World. And it mentioned that the final verse was coming to Disneyland, which we knew, but also Magic Kingdom, which we did not know. Well, today Disney made it official. They announced that, yes, indeed, the final verse will be coming, and specifically to the finale room, which is another question we kind of had, whether it be changed throughout the entire ride or just the last scene. Just the last scene, final verse, the last gift from Richard Sherman to the Disney company will be starting July 17th at both coasts. And you can also be able to stream the song, the new complete song, and pre-order. You can also get a 7-inch vinyl on Disney Music Emporium. And so that'll happen July 17th. What do you think?
I kind of anticipated it to be only in the finale room because it has, if you've heard it, it has such a little like message to it more than the rest of the song. And it would be a great cap, and it wouldn't really fit well in the beginning. So, but yeah.
Are you glad it's coming to Florida though?
I think it's cool. I think it'll go to all of them, but I don't like that it's coming the same day because it kind of takes away from the significance of it being July 17th in California.
I will say that's the part that surprised me too. I thought that there'd be like an exclusivity.
Yeah, like if it showed up in September, cool. Even August for that matter. But the fact that it's the same day as Disneyland is a little
could have made
bizarre.
it October 1st.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
But also Disneyland will be getting the final verse short, the documentary short is still coming to I keep wanting to say Opera House. It's not the Opera House, it's the Main Street Cinema.
Yep.
And that'll happen on July 17th as well. And of course you can watch Laughing Place for all our coverage of that.
Yes.
But Tony, Tiana.
Yes, as we learned this weekend, Tiana's Joyful Celebration. So have fun not mixing it with Tiana's Bayou Adventure or anything like that. Tiana's Joyful Bayou is a touring children's museum exhibit that will be kicking off in Indianapolis on March 7th, 2026. And it's going to be a walkthrough that they're getting ready for a big parade. And you're going to go through different exhibits. And it sounds like there's going to be different stations where you explore food, maybe craft some decor. We saw some art from Essence Fest. It's Kyle showing there. That one looks like it's going to be some kind of drum exhibit. And then there's another one.
It looks like Equatorial Africa.
It looks like there's a giant bucket or beach pail or something and pumpkins. But I couldn't figure out what was being conveyed here other than a photo spot. So maybe like they shrink you down because the bucket's bigger than everything. I don't know. Because that's kind of what happens on the ride, which heavily influenced this exhibit.
They did release these new concept art on the Parks blog as well, so we got to see them first. But now they're
okay. But they it was announced for Indianapolis in 2026, and if you're not going to be in Indianapolis in 2027, it will go to 12 additional cities, but they have not yet named which cities.
And we talked a little bit about Essence Fest there, but we will. Well, Doobie was the one there, so I figured it just made sense to have him talk about it in the coming days when he returns. So stay tuned for all of that. Next up, these are interesting. These are the Swan and Dolphin at Walt Disney World. And as you can see here, it's a clear cup that has the iconic figures on top of it, which is funny because I don't know. I think, does anyone like the dolphin logo? Everyone just thinks it's a fish.
Well, it's a mahi or a dolphin fish, but yes.
So it's just kind of funny to have this weird, ugly fish on top of your cup, but I kind of love it and I want it now.
You have to get both of them. You can't get one or the other.
I think I can. They're different brands. I don't know what the different brands mean, but yeah, technically, like one of them is a Weston and one is something else.
I know they're holding boxes of the Swan one, and it's being called the Swan Reserve. So
okay, that makes sense. It's a little bit more expensive if you buy that one, though.
Yes, it is, but it's more modern and chic.
Business travelers.
Yes.
Anyway, so these are available now. We don't know how long they'll be around for, but if you are in the area of Epcot's International Gateway, do yourself a favor. Walk over down the boardwalk, down Yacht Beach. You can walk over to Swan Dolphin, even if you're not staying there. So.
You can't confirm right now that Swan one, if it were accurate to what it looks like right now, would have scaffolding around it, but...
Well, we got some new merchandise, if you can believe it. This morning, the Disneyland 70th Celebrate Happy collection arrived. In fact, they just released some better photos for us. New headband, a colorful background. This actually reminds me a little bit of Captain Marvel, except that it's pink instead of red. And then this hoodie. So there you go. Even more Disneyland 70th items. I don't believe that these are online yet, just at the stores at Disneyland. I love the zipper.
That hoodie's fun.
Yeah.
Is that a 70?
70.
On the zipper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new logo. But speaking of merchandise, over on DisneyStore.com, just so much Haunted Mansion merchandise because, that attraction doesn't get enough merchandise. Yep. We should definitely put it into more things. So we have, there's figures and mugs. These are probably my favorite. These three hitchhiking ones. This one just went on sale. This one was at 8:00. The rest of the stuff was up at midnight. That's a little creepy, actually. Doobie would probably get scared of that. But yeah, I like these little mugs. I don't know how you're supposed to drink out of them, but
I don't think anybody's going to actually drink out of them.
And then, of course, there's lots of apparel and accessories that you can get, including these comfy pajamas. Becca has Haunted Mansion pajamas, but they're the kind of like these green striped ones instead of the wallpaper ones. And then we also have ornaments and a new thing of Dooney and Burke. So if you have your eye on anything, we would appreciate it if you go to laughingplace.com first. Use our links. It won't cost you anything extra, but we get a little something back, and it helps support our site. So thank you in advance. Go ahead, Tony. Do you have something to say?
No.
Oh, surprising. Over in Tokyo, we talked before about how they're going to be having their summer cool off, and now we have photos thanks to our friend Tetsuya out there in Tokyo. And so this has a number of different features. First of all, these little like splash stations there where you can cool off. And, you know, we do joke, like, of all the parks, Tokyo needs this. But if you've been listening to the weather report, Tokyo does actually need this. Not saying that Florida doesn't, but pretty helpful in Tokyo. So yeah, there's these soak stations. There's also some updates to like Splash Mountain is extra wet. There's the special version of Happy Ride with Baymax where there's a special song. And then, of course, they have a parade where they include some misting and water elements, kind of like Play Parade in that way.
I was just thinking that.
Tons of fun. Tokyo always does amazing things, so be sure to go check that out over on our site if you can't get to Tokyo yourself, of course.
I was at the one by the Miracosta. I was like, does that water get pumped back in in some way? Are we just shooting water everywhere now?
I am sure that it's recycled in some way.
I'll tell you, they couldn't do that in California.
Although Tokyo is not Tokyo as an island, but Japan as an island, I think they're good on. They can get some sort of water pretty easily over there. But speaking of Tokyo,
the SkyTree, which I had to look up what that is. It's basically a giant observation deck / shopping mall complex. Have you ever been, Kyle?
I don't think I've been to this one. I've been to another one that I think is called like something with 60 in it. My friend had there was an aquarium there, so we went to the aquarium, but then the observation deck portion, her photos were on display. There was an exhibit of them, and so I just happened to be in Tokyo while that was happening. I got to send her photos of the exhibit that she was in.
Nice. Well, Toy Story is celebrating its 30th anniversary, coming to the Tokyo SkyTree complex with Toy Story Sky, which sounded like they're doing something, in my imagination anyway, AR with Tokyo character or with the Toy Story characters on the glass in some way. I don't think that's it, but we don't know yet because the exhibit opens July 17th, but everything on the website shows details and special things coming soon. Based on previous events, there are AR goggles you could look through, and that's probably where it's going to be. But there's going to be a Toy Story themed menu at the cafe, a Toy Story merchandise, and different little other Toy Story experiences. I wish I could tell you more other than that, but according to the official website, everything is still coming soon. And it starts July 17th, so I hope we figure something out soon.
Well, I appreciate your investigative work so far. Also in the sky, you might have seen this is not one of them. This is from Rise of the Silver Surfer, but there were Fantastic Four logos being drawn over the sky. This one is in Chicago. We also saw one in Hollywood and a few other places. And not to get too deep into it, but if you looked on Twitter, there were also some people who did not see a four and had all sorts of
which is why I'm laughing.
All sorts of theories about what this was. I don't know if they were tongue in cheek or not. Let's hope that they were. But yes, it is Fantastic Four. It's a promotion for a movie and nothing more than that.
The most basic one is that it was who's skywriting cues above the sky. To put it in the most simpler terms, but other people go deeper. And it's worth a scroll if you want to look that up. That's why I'm laughing right now. But
yeah. So anyway, Fantastic Four in theaters July 25th. But over at Magic Kingdom,
a former candy location in Frontierland, another change happening in Frontierland right now, has been for some reason repurposed into a Chapel Hat location. Disney World fans,
not a Chapel Roan hat, just Chapel.
No, those hats are not HATTOGO.
But you could wear them to the Pink Pony Club.
You probably could. But Chapel Hats does have a location already at the Disney Springs area of Walt Disney World. And now it is in Frontierland as well. And I honestly, editorializing here, don't see how this store is going to be there forever. But
You don't want this purple top hat, Tone?
actually, I might. That's kind of fun. But
Why don't you put on this one and then ask Annie if she's okay?
I might. But yeah, no, so again, like I understand cowboy hats and that kind of look for Frontierland. Even though it's about to not become the Old West anymore, it's going to be more of the national park vibe, but we'll see.
It's all about adventure, Tony. Adventure is what Frontierland is all about.
Do you think that would pull in more people than a candy shop?
No.
Yeah.
But
because that's what it used to be. And back at my college program, there's a space above the roof, and it was very much the Millhouse. This is where I go to cry. So,
but as Tony alluded to, there are changes happening at Frontierland. Yesterday was the last operating day for the Rivers of America, and so today the train's going just back and forth. We'll have all sorts of coverage of that. Jeremiah's there right now, so be sure to stay tuned to our site throughout the day, but we'll talk more about that.
We have a live stream later with him too.
We do, yes. I should say now, it's a 3-show Monday, so we'll have Jeremiah at 11, and then we'll have Parks Talk Live at 4, both of which I'm sure will cover this closing, so we're going to skip over it for now and go to our Disney Plus Top 10. Let's take a look.
Did you adjust yours?
I did not.
Okay. 30 Rock.
Let me see if there's anything. Yeah, I saw. I don't know what's going on there. 30 Rock. Who knew? Okay. Ironheart, still number 1. Up Close. Sharks Up Close, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Snow White, still hanging in there. The Sandlot.
Great 4th of July movie.
Yeah. Back to the Future. The Parent Trap. Independence Day.
Also a great Independence or 4th of July movie.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of Black Pearl, and Ice Age. No reason to turn off my TVMA because there was nothing in there. But I have to say, they changed the layout for StreamYard, so I'm a little overwhelmed for a second, and then I will find the button I'm looking for.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
Tony, yesterday you had a chance to ride the new test track, and I was curious about your thoughts.
I did. I liked it a lot. It's much better than V2, in my opinion. It has some great throwback elements. I rode it twice, fortunately, because the preview allowed us to do a reride. And I noticed above the tunnel, they have the World of Motion logo right before you almost get hit by the semi. It was right there, so I thought that was kind of fun.
The jump scare part that I don't like.
Sorry. But you know it's coming at this point. They haven't touched it since 99.
I know.
There is another part, though, that I think might be a jump scare for you.
No.
Similar aspect, different side of the car. But yeah, and there's the part. Do you have the video handy by chance? I'm looking down and I don't see it. Where you see the world around you and then it becomes digitized and like sensors and lights, and that part was really cool. I just wish the finale element, which is really the true standout where you see the city of the future and everything like that, definitely probably the best part of the new experience, and you're only in it for about 4 seconds. I wish they made that quite a bit longer, but
so where did you want me to scroll to?
Go around there, right there. Yeah, at that part. That was really cool in person. Not so much that one, but yeah, right here, like where you see this transition happen. and it was like, oh, using sensor technologies, and then that happens. That part looked really cool. If you think back to the original days, this is with the not anti-lock brake test moment. And then that little red car that goes green, that's the other jump scare I would warn you about, Kyle.
Okay, thank you.
In the video, it doesn't show up as fast as it did, at least for our ride. But yeah.
So many things trying to kill you on the road.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's definitely better than V2, but that ride was purpose built for the original, and it still retains a lot of those elements, kind of shoehorned in to make things work with what they want to do now. But
Nice. Well, thank you. But now we're going to move on to a review of Super Shark Highway. This is debuted on the 4th and is now streaming on Disney Plus the day afterwards. So Luke reviewed this for us. He says that it is a visually impressive yet dull look at sharks off the coast of Australia. His subhead is the new National Geographic Shark Fest series is coming to Disney Plus and Hulu on July 6th. So there you go. His final paragraph: if, like me, you're a newcomer to the yearly delights of Shark Fest, I'd point you towards something like Sharks Up Close with Bertie Gregory as a good entry point. Super Shark Highway is definitely a more in-depth piece, owing simply to its length, but it's also far more dry, with dull narration and no personality coming from the scientists the show focuses on. But if you're a more seasoned Shark Fest watcher, or if you're specifically looking for amazing footage of sharks, then this is the right place to come. So a little ho-hum. He recommends the Bertie Gregory one that was I think the one that was in the top 10. And so yeah, you can find that on Disney Plus.
And the rest.
Heading over to Disney Springs, Amaret's Patisserie is getting into the Cool Kid Summer thing with this watercolor cookie activity that you can get. It's edible watercolors, so you can dip your palette thing in the water, get some color in these things. And then, of course, you can eat them. So this is $19 and is now available. We don't know for how long, but you can get it over at Amaret's in Disney Springs.
For a half second, Kyle, I thought you were going to say you could dip your thing in the thing and then do the thing with the thing.
Yeah, I should have done that. And then over at Disneyland Paris, this is interesting. They have an exclusive Pandora bracelet celebrating the anniversary of High School Musical, which I understand, celebrating the High School Musical anniversary. I don't understand why it's exclusive to Disneyland Paris per se.
Right? I didn't know Paris had such a big High School Musical following.
Yeah, so there's only
everything.
2006 pieces available, which is a nod to the film's release date. And this is €69. And if you want it, you're going to have to go to Paris. Sorry about it.
So can I tell a quick story?
Sure.
You said 2006 was when I did my college program at Disney, and I only am thinking of it because of the Chapel Hats location. That was one of the stores I worked at, and I was at Splash Mountain at the time in the photo area, and kid comes in, big puff of hair. I had no idea who he was, but every girl that worked there at the time was like screaming and having to hide in the back room. And he comes up. He was a really cool guy. Talked with them. It turns out it was Corbin Bleu, fresh off High School Musical, because this was in the mid to late 2006 at this point, height of the popularity of that movie. And I had no idea who he was because I was out of touch with Disney Channel at the time. But it was like, do you know who you're just talking to? No idea. Some kid who needs a haircut.
Some chicken stuffed with ham. I don't really know.
Yeah. I just realized in that clip, Benji's wearing the Wonderful World of Color shirt that I bought for Morgan once. Anyway, moving on.
We're going to go around LP. Every Sunday, our own Bill Gausel does a series called Touchstone and Beyond, looking back at films from the Touchstone library and some of the other offshoot film studios that Disney's had. This week, in connection to July 4th, he looked at Jefferson in Paris, which is apparently not very good. I'd never heard of this movie. Had you heard of this movie?
No.
Well, you can learn more about it over on Laughing Place, and that was a slow transition after I clicked it. Also yesterday, our Laughing Place on Location series continued with Alex and presumably Benji in Hong Kong Disneyland for their 20th anniversary kickoff. So be sure to check that out. And we got a new episode of the Laughing Place on Balance podcast. In this one, Benji talks a little bit about his trip to Hong Kong Disneyland and how it was actually busy for the first time that he's been there. I talked about my trip to the Walmart Museum, so very different levels there.
I didn't even know there was a Walmart Museum. I might have to tune in.
It's free. And then also we get to hear Alex talk to the cast of Zombies. He talked to about 7 different cast members in 3 different interviews, so you can hear all of those on the show. And then with Tom Sawyer Island closing, Jim Smith did an article looking back at Disney legend Tom. Is it Nab? It's just Nab. Do you know?
I assumed it was Nab.
Yeah. So you can find out why he calls him the real life Tom Sawyer and look at his life and career in the latest Disney legends.
If I remember right, I think I know why, but I'm not going to spoil it. Go read it.
Yeah, exactly. And now we have fun stuff. The fun stuff. If you are not aware, if you're a member, you're already aware. But if you are not, let me introduce you to Villains Challenge Disney Hangman, which you can play right now on laughingplace.com. So basically, the idea is it's Hangman, but you have a villain and you have a hero. And to save the hero, you need to make sure that you complete the puzzle without running out of guesses. So that is the premise of this. You can choose from a few different themes. So there's an everything Disney. You can also do limited to just the Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World, Disney movies, specifically Cars for some reason, Halloween, and some other stuff. So be sure you can go to laughingplace.com/hangman, I believe. If not, then you can find it right here.
Cars, the Pixar franchise, or Cars like ride vehicles and actual motor
Well,
cars?
it's capitalized. It's in cap.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that it is the film franchise. But Tony, it's time for your quiz.
Okay. Real quick,
All right.
Nikki B did not know you could change the theme. So now you know.
Now you know. My super short show. On this day in 1940, someone was born, very famous. Not a ton of Disney credits, but you can see them in a few different documentaries on Disney Plus. And as I learned, they have a solo hit that was penned by the Sherman Brothers.
So not Annette Funicello.
Not Annette Funicello. He
Born
was
in-
also Marge Simpson's high school crush.
Oh,
And it's very appropriate that we got It's a Small World news today because he is all about peace and love.
Ringo.
Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr. Yep.
Richard Starkey, born in 1940. Happy birthday, Ringo.
Okay.
Yeah, did you know that Year 16 was written by the Sherman Brothers?
No, did not.
I learned that today, too. On this day, 1963, a Disney live-action musical starring Haley Mills, Burl Ives, and Dorothy McGuire was released.
Is that The Parent Trap?
No.
63, Haley Mills, Burl Ives, musical.
On July, which is
it Summer Magic?
It is Summer Magic. That's nice work. This day, 1966, a comedian, a well-known comedian with roles in Luca and Star versus the Forces of Evil, and the movie that I forgot existed, Peter Pan and Wendy, was born.
Jim Gaffigan?
Jim Gaffigan,
Okay.
yes. On this day, 1976, a live-action Disney movie was released, a sports movie starring a farm animal.
What year?
1976.
It's the soccer one with the goat or whatever.
I mean,
No.
you're both very close and very far off at the same time.
Yes.
If you
No.
mean a football and mule, then
Yes, that one. Yeah.
Gus. is his
Gus,
name.
yes.
On this day, 1989, that's key, 1989,
Mhm.
Disney Channel aired a very special movie in I guess you'd consider it part of a franchise of films that this actor starred in, all starting with his name and then something that he does. And in this case, he was at Disney.
So read it was 1989.
1989,
Yeah.
Disney Channel movie, or Disney,
Yeah.
something that aired on Disney Channel.
Oh, is it Ernest Goes to Camp?
Ernst Goes to Splash Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah, there's your key. Yep.
yeah.
I was thinking because Hollywood MGM Studios at the time, it was I think Ernest Saves Christmas, the house.
Mhm.
So that's where 89 was clicking for me. But Nikki wants more Kyle talking like Ringo. So do the next
Peace
one
and
like
love.
Ringo.
That's all I got. They're gonna put me in the movies. Year 2000, live action film. Bruce Willis, Spencer Breslin.
The Kid.
Disney's The Kid, yes.
Disney's The Kid. Sorry.
2003, another equine movie was released by Disney.
Well, it wasn't Home on the Range because that was later and on April 2nd.
This is live action.
Live action equine movie. 2003.
Yeah. Very well known. I think it was Oscar nominated.
The only equine movie from 2003 I can think of is animated and not Disney. And I
Okay, well, it's not an ocean cookie. It's a
what? Seabiscuit. I'm
There
calling
you
that
go.
movie Ocean Cookie from now on.
As you should. Speaking of the ocean, on this day in 2006, a Disney feature was released in theaters, a sequel, and unrelated, except totally related, an attraction reopened at Magic Kingdom.
2006. Reopened at Magic Kingdom, unrelated.
It's actually related. I was just being
Yeah.
sarcastic.
I got that part.
A film franchise sequel.
I was here in 2006. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean, the second one.
Dead Man's Chest.
Dead Man's Chest, thank you.
Yeah, and Pirates of the Caribbean reopened at Magic Kingdom
Yep.
that day. Finally, 2021, a Disney Plus series debuted, and I believe it's still available. So it was a qualifier with this.
So it's not The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Right.
2021.
You've seen it. I know that you've seen it.
Oh no, that could. It's not Marvel or Star Wars.
It is not Marvel or Star Wars. No, it is animated because that's how I know that Tony is.
Is it Sketchbook?
No.
It's animated series for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Was it that awful Olaf Presents?
No.
Oh. Forky.
No.
Forky has a question?
No. It's so funny that you forgot this 2-season show.
2-season show.
Yeah. I think you did recaps of it.
Exclusive to Disney. Oh, Monsters at Work.
Monsters at Work.
Yeah, that is also on Disney Channel now. It's not just only on Disney Plus. It came out only on Disney Plus, but now it's on Disney Channel too.
Well, I just said that it debuted on Disney Plus. It's a Disney Plus original.
But that's why I was hitting in my head that it was exclusive to Disney Plus.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, Monsters at Work. You also could have said The Office with monsters, but yes.
I was thinking of a way to get there, and I didn't quite get there.
But yeah.
Anyway, that's going to do it for this edition
Sorry,
of the
Steve,
Disney
if you're watching.
Morning Show. As I said, 3-show Monday today. We'll have Jeremiah at Magic Kingdom checking out the what's changed since the Rivers of America are now closed. That'll happen at 11 a.m. Pacific, and then we'll have Disney Parks Talk live at 4 o'clock today, and then we'll be back tomorrow with the morning show. So thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.